Rome wasn't built in a day. We could also say enlightenment isn't built in a day, but is built as a result of a day-to-day effort. In other words, the only thing that'll get us anywhere on the spiritual path, whether it's concentration, loving kindness, or wisdom that we want to develop, is dedicating ourselves to a daily practice. We take for granted that Olympic athletes and professional musicians train daily to achieve mastery of their sport or music. Why wouldn't the same discipline apply to cultivating the most important qualities of our mind? If we want to develop patience, honesty, morality, and wisdom, we have to make a sustained effort. In this show, we'll learn methods to develop our daily practice on and off the cushion through every part of our lives.
So what does a daily practice mean? What does it mean to practice? If, as the Buddha said, it's true that we have been cycling in samsara, cyclic existence, for infinite number of lifetimes, what we have been practicing, as evidenced by the fact that we are still here in samsara, has been non-virtue and self-cherishing. What we need to do to remedy this situation is to develop a new habit by practicing virtue and cherishing others. So before listening to these teachings, establish in your mind a very strong motivation to be able not only to understand what it means to have a daily practice, but to establish one in your life, a workable daily practice, as quickly as possible, so that you may be able to benefit all living beings as quickly as possible.
So how do I carry out my practice in this life? How do I summarize all the practices of the path to enlightenment in my life? So this is the first. You have 5 forces to apply. This is the first, the force of resolution. Set a strong intentions, a strong resolution in the morning. Okay, so this you have to apply this right in the morning, as soon as you open your eyes, as soon as you wake up, you open your eyes before doing anything else. You just hook up with your mind and set your resolution. So right now, also this morning, I'm alive. I have all the favorable circumstances in my life, all the freedoms and endowment in order to progress and practice the path to enlightenment, to benefit all sentient beings. Therefore, as much as I can, as much as I live throughout the day, I'm not going to let my mind under the power of delusions, and I'm not going to harm any sentient beings, and I'm going to be as helpful as possible to all sentient beings. So now the next is the force of the white seed. The force of the white seed is the aim of achieving the supreme enlightenment in order to benefit all other sentient beings and oneself, for oneself and other purposes, engaging as much as possible throughout the day in practice to purify the previously accumulated negative potentials or karma, and accumulating virtuous actions or merits, what we call merits. So these are called the white seed. So what is the best way then to quickly accumulate merits without making so much effort? Rejoice. And rejoicing is an incredible beneficial practice. It allows you to accumulate such a huge mass of merits just with the force of your thought, without engaging in any physical or strenuous, difficult practices or activities. Just rejoicing of the virtues accumulated by others, by oneself and others, it becomes extremely powerful to swiftly complete the accumulation of merits without so much struggle. You rejoice of your virtues, you rejoice of other people's virtues, you rejoice of the virtues of the bodhisattvas, of the Buddhas, of the gurus. The more you think in detail and vast you are, the vaster and bigger is by way of rejoicing the merits keep accumulating and accumulating. This is a very good practice. If you undertake whatever, even the smallest positive action you do, it acts as purifier for those previously accumulated negative karma. More specific, there are lots of very powerful practices and techniques, such as doing prostrations, taking refuge, reciting what is called the Tunsha, the general confession practice, the practice related to the 35 Buddhas, Vajrasattva meditation and recitation, even just the mantra, and so on and so forth. And the third is the force of familiarity. It means that you constantly have to take to your mind the practices of the path to enlightenment, especially the steps to generate bodhicitta, and as well as purifying accumulating merits, until it becomes spontaneous for you. You don't need any, it's not a contrived thought. You have to bring it to your mind constantly, so you become so familiar with that particular kind of attitude and behavior that you constantly are reminded of the path to enlightenment. So this is the power, the force of familiarity. So the fourth is the force or the power of rejection, and this in general, it refers to all types of delusions. So always keep a constant awareness of delusions and their disadvantages for you in order to eliminate it, but particularly be mindful of self-cherishing thought, of egoism, and do not let the power of rejection is do not let yourself being taken under the power of self-cherishing thought from now on as much as you can. So this is the power of rejection. So now the force of prayer or dedication. So at the time just before going to sleep, then you apply the last force. All right, you review your day on the basis of your first determination in the morning. So what happened today? How did I accumulate any virtuous action? Was I been taken under the power of delusions? Did I accumulate virtuous actions? Was I able to apply the antidotes and to overcome self-cherishing thought, and so on and so forth? So you have to analyze very sincerely, focus on whatever negativities I have accumulated today. I've done it for this and this and this. So therefore, I'm going to purify it right now, and tomorrow I will be more mindful. You make a strong determination again. Tomorrow I'm not going to repeat the same mistake. And whatever virtues you have accumulated, you review it and you rejoice. So that was very good. I've done it very nicely. I was able to face my mind. I was able to decrease delusions. I was able to do this and this and virtuous action. This is fantastic. Tomorrow I'll do even better. So before going to bed, you do this review. This was a very short explanation on how to carry out the practices, how to summarize the practice in one's life on the basis of a daily practice from morning up to night. So this is for what we call daily practices.